Something interesting I do want to bring up. The goddess.
She's more than interesting.
Every time I think about that, I think about Mickey Rourke from Sin City when they say her name.
Oh my God. Oh, love Sin City.
Yes, the goddess.
We'll talk about that shooting the shit.
Yes. Alexa Bliss, of course, has returned. She is in the Elimination Chamber. And character-wise, I feel like they found this perfect middle for her, where we still get a bit of that goddess feel, but also still of that Alexa Lily Funhouse feel. But we know that the Wyatt Six is lurking around. We know that we've seen the hidden messages. And so, we haven't seen them. So,
where?
Yeah, case in point. But
where they at, Lily?
It was with the hair flicked on.
Yeah, like where they at, huh?
Because you don't realize like how close she is to the stuff. It kind of seemed like, oh, it may be far away.
Yeah, it was bleared. It's bleared.
she
I didn't realize she was that close.
She gonna fuck me up in my sleep now. Why?
The greatest of ease, just flip the hair.
Yeah, she did. Oh shit. Now I want to know from y'all though. We're seeing these messages. We're seeing it. We're seeing there is some correlation, but I want to pick y'all creative brain. How do we make this work with Alexa and the Wyatt Six? Because again, we've kind of seen, especially if you watch the Bray documentary, there were a couple of ideas that they had shot, especially when it came to involving her, that he wasn't too keen on. As an example, the burnt up theme, just because of how difficult it was for the suit. That ending that we never really understood at WrestleMania when they were in Tampa and the crown was bleeding, and for some reason Randy Orton still won for some odd, strange reason, and then we never got nothing after that with all of that happening. So and it just kind of revamped it with him and like Uncle Howdy. So just now with what's going on, and it seems that they're still trying to implement her into this. What is the best creative way, one, to work the Wyatt Six into SmackDown and Alexa Bliss into this story of the Wyatt Six? It takes some time to think. I don't have to be like, I'll go now.
I feel like Honey's thought of this already.
I think about it every day. I always think about it. But as far as now, all right, because you have to look back at the whole last year. Well, if you were following me in WWT all last year, we were pretty much like trying to figure out these damn QR codes and looking for them, even during our watch-alongs and everything. The whole point of Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six being revamped into this extension of Wyndham and his brother is based on them accepting themselves for who they are. The Uncle Howdy's thing was always revel in what you are. You can't deny what you are. You can't escape what you are. And case in point, Alexa Bliss, before we didn't see her anymore, one of the last times we saw her was on TV, and Uncle Howdy was kind of like taunting her and following her everywhere. Nothing ever really became of it. Shut up. The Alexa. It always gets me. But and now with the whole therapy sessions and all those letters that were written and all those tapes that were put out of, Gacy and Eric Rowan and Nikki Cross and all of them, they've all learned to accept who they truly are through Uncle Howdy, right? Through the embrace of Wyndham. With Alexa Bliss, she was when the last times we were seeing her on TV, she was denying, she was escaping, she was running away from the darkness. She probably, I guess, if you wanted to like twist up the story, the whole ending with Randy and the Lily thing, that was probably something. I mean, that was definitely something that went wrong, and we know it. But as far as like for storyline purposes, maybe she got too afraid of the darkness and wanted to change and get away from it. Hence why Uncle Howdy following her. But now she comes back in this huge Royal Rumble return, completely shook up the world. And look at what she wore. Embracing every single bit of herself as who she was as Lily and as the right hand of Bray Wyatt in the Funhouse. She will be the Fiend's friend forever. She was the first friend allowed in the Funhouse and willingly accepted by all the other puppets as well. So she also helped create the Wyatt Six, I think. I think that she's also the real reason why the Wyatt Six became the Wyatt Six and went from being puppets to actual people. Let's not forget she had a really crazy segment doing witchcraft on Raw one time, like with the Pentagon and all that, and the candles and all that, and her looking up with the yellow eyes and everything. So I think this is pretty much what's going on. Is we're going to continue to see the paths cross, because at the end of the day, her and Uncle Howdy have now embraced who they are, and they're going to be working together, and they're going to be friends forever through the spirit of Wyndham.
So is she joined, like, it's like, will it be like Alexa Bliss in the Wyatt Six, or is like, what's the?
Yeah, because especially how you just explained it. So it's like, where does she fall into the fold of the Six?
What's crazy is that I wanted them to stay away from this, but since we're here,
Oh, really?
like I kind of wanted to see the Alexa Bliss denial phase continue and build up into this, but we got this. And it was great. I'm not complaining about this at all, about the way it was done. But one thing about Uncle Howdy, he doesn't forget. So I'm not sure if Uncle Howdy is on her side, being that she is still the one who technically did betray the Fiend. Mm-hmm. So there might still be friction in there. And that's when Nikki, aka Sister Abigail, will have to come through. And we're going to see them. And they've been tag partners. So there's a lot of history there with her and Nikki.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I don't know about joining. I think it will just be constant friction and like uncertainty as to should they bring her back in, because the last time we tried to trust her, she couldn't be trusted.
Mm-hmm. Deonne, any thoughts to the creative process between Alexa Bliss and the Wyatt Six?
Now, I always thought I'm our Wyatt Six expert, Honey. I'm gonna call for what she's been saying and keeping up with the last few months. Is I thought from this that she would join them. Like, I saw her being a part of it, but I forgot the whole betrayal thing, and that completely slipped my mind. Just because, like, the last time she was here, Alexa Bliss was there. She just something didn't fit. Like her return didn't fit. The music changed, got us all caught off guard too. But
the Lily's Playground shit was dope. Her segments with that were awesome.
Yeah, but they dived a little too far into, like, when she had like the pale white face on there. I was like, this is not hitting the way y'all think it should be hit.
Except that one time when she shitted on Charlotte, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But I thought she joined. I thought she joined up with them, because I think her character and her character work she's done before would lend really well with that group. Especially she's a great talker. So is Bo. I think those two sort of walking hand in hand would be pretty dope. And that allowed the rest of the crew to wrestle. That allowed them to get their promo work in when they can. And I don't know what their main goal would be of the W to do over on SmackDown or whatever. They're on SmackDown, right?
Apparently.
So
I ain't seen them. It's been almost 2 months.
But I would love to know, like, if they have like a plan, like a reason why they're together, what they plan to do on SmackDown, or to who on SmackDown. We thought we were going to get a run in with Karrion Kross and his crew, right? But half his crew's gone. So there's no more of that. So what do you do with the Wyatt Six now in Alexa? I think if they have like some sort of goal or mission for Friday nights, I think that'll be a dope sort of thing that they can do for that. But I see them walking hand in hand, her and Bo carrying on carry on Bray's legacy through that.
Yeah.
It would also be a test, though, because this would be the second. No, excuse me. Randy was the first person Bray trusted, and he was betrayed. Lily was the second. Well, Alexa was the second. Uncle Howdy, I don't know if he's gonna be so forgiving because this isn't Wyndham. This is Bo. This is Uncle Howdy. This is the brother, and he looks at shit a lot differently. But they got their eyes on her, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So here's how I see it. I think the angle that they push with Alexa is their mother. Like she's the mother of it. She is
mother.
Yeah, she's the last remaining piece of Bray. Like, because if you think about it, Uncle Howdy came after her. Mm-hmm. So she's the last one to really have all of the energy and power transferred into her, which is why I think Bo would accept her, because that is the last piece of Bray that he has is within her. And so in doing so, this is where you start working it for her to have her own version of the Fiend and this other personality.
Shut up. Oh,
that's dope.
Yeah. And in control of it, just like how he is.
No, that's really
a female fiend.
Yeah. And that's how it starts to work itself in. And she needs them for her to accept that that's what it is, because it's there. And just like seeing the vignette that she had for the chamber, this with the playground, all of that stuff, it's like, yo, bring all of that in. Bring all of that. Give her her own characters. Let Lily be in there. Give her new puppets as well.
And the last stop it. And the last message that we got from the Wyatt Six with the glitch when she appeared, it said in scrambled letters, it spells out, "Do you feel in control?" And in her vignette, the last thing she said was, "I am in control."
Yeah.
And so just imagine that, where she starts to do that, and then just imagine she's giving the vignette and she do this and she wearing the gloves.
You mean these old things? These old things?
No.
The black was right. She got the black ones too. There you
go. These old things.
Yeah. The heel hurt. The heel hurt, and she gets a new version of herself. Like, you got this one where it's in control, but she becomes the new version of the Fiend,
coming in and screw up Mickey James, screw up Charlotte, screw up everybody that wronged her. Nia Jax.
Yep. And what works so well about it is you don't have to keep all of them together all the time. Like the Wyatt Six can still blend into different stories, and she's still there to be able to exact her vengeance as well. But you always know they're lingering around.
And she's different than, like, that would create her different than any other superstar or women's wrestler on the card.
Yep.
And there's a space for that.
Yep. Like the wicked goddess. Like, that's her alternate version.
Hey man, how we get jobs there? Or at least
a good
idea. How we get jobs
by this show? Because I'm back. Because just like I do Stratford comic book, when they start doing these, the fans gonna be like, "Yo, he said this shit first. Y'all got this from him, and it's showing right here." So
cut the checks.
What checks?
I was like, me and Honey were with him.
I want my Oba and Moose check. Damn it. Stop.
Because she definitely campaigned that all year.
All year, every week, all year. I know y'all was probably sick of me saying that shit too. But I'm like,
Well, as soon as you said it,
I'm a believer.
I was like, it gotta happen. It gotta happen. But that's the way I see it. And then that way too, it's like you don't necessarily take away from Bo either. And then just imagine like their promos with the both of them, and like where Alexa starts getting emotional about Wyndham being gone. And how
that's right. Part.
Like both of them sitting there and it starts switching out and stuff, and like it'll show their alternate and then go back to the regular. Or,
there you are.
That's good, man.
I like you. I just I just don't want this shit to die down, man. This is Bray's legacy we're talking about. So this is very delicate for a lot of people.
But to that point, I think that's another reason why they've been keeping them off for so long. Because if you really think about it, there is no proper story to tell them, especially now with the Karrion Kross thing being done. There's nothing really proper enough to work out with that, and they haven't given us anybody to do that with just yet. And I think that's why it's also too taking so long to kind of like figure this out, because even with having like Rowan and Gacy as a tag team, the tag team division was shit when they got here. And they're still trying to rev that back up right now. So there's nothing for them to topple per se. Then you have Bo. Of course, Bo got to extract revenge, but it's like, yo, that's a elongated story, and with the list of people that you would go after, all of them are busy. Like Randy's gone, but Randy's still in the story with KO. LA Knight was US champion, and now he's mixed in with Shinsuke Nakamura. But it's like, and then even like to a Seth Rollins, and then even some other ones, like they're no Roman, but all of them are tied into other stories right now, to where it's like you don't want to take them away for that, and then you don't want to undermine the story of what Bray is going to be trying to tell through Bo and the rest of them. But I think adding Alexa starts to give that story more meaning, because she has more people that she can start crossing off a list. Like imagine like you know, we skipped the whole not liking shit, and Nikki's at her beck and call. Like as a like just a straight guardian, and it's just like, yo, like, and that's one of her specials, right? And motherfucker pop out, and like she'll do this or turn her neck sideways, and the lights go do, and
then Nikki's at the top rope, ready to pounce.
Fucking fog comes everywhere, and there goes Nikki, and she just
here's a question, because I've gone back and forth in this. I love mystical stuff in wrestling. I love it.
Me too.
Some people don't.
I always have.
Undertaker shooting lightning out of his hands to this day.
I'm fire.
Steel
coming out of a flaming casket.
Yeah, or just the theatrics and the mystical stuff. I absolutely love.
Like one of my favorite ones is when Daniel Bryan and Kane was a tag team, and he raised his hands up, and the fire started, and Kane was like, I was like, yo, y'all can say what y'all want, man. This is great.
Yeah, but just all the stuff like with Undertaker, he's been buried alive, he comes back. Great. He's been in a casket. The flaming casket was amazing.
Man, the buried alive, when his hand popped out, the pop from that crowd, that was like a movie, bro.
Or I'm coming back against Kurt Angle, the ring's moving, and this man comes out in a chariot. Like I'm like, give me mystical stuff in wrestling. I love it.
Or when Yokozuna and them all put him in a casket, and then all of a sudden he shows up on the screen and rises up and says, "I will not rest in peace." Like,
that scared the hell out of me.
Set on fire, and he bust out that bitch.
That scared the hell out of me. The Yokozuna, when all of them,
he actually had degree burns from that moment too.
Yeah, because he was just laying there, and then it just went straight. I was like, nope.
That was one of my favorite moments. The gong hit when his. It was like Michael Jackson at a concert when that motherfucker stands out there for 10 minutes. Everybody's just losing their shit, and he hasn't moved an inch, and then all of a sudden, dung, you're like, oh my
God. So, is there a place for stuff like this now in wrestling? I feel like there is.
Yeah,
I feel like people still love it.
Yeah, but I think to that point,
if you believe in what Bray Wyatt believed in, you would definitely love it.
Yeah, but I think because of that point, and because of like how we are with social media and where the landscape,
the reality era.
Yeah, but again too, it's like you have to be very strategic with it.
Be careful.
Yeah, it takes a lot of planning, and it takes a lot of like, how are we gonna make this work? Because even too, when Bray was doing it, like we didn't have that mystical side like that no more. But Bray found a way to make it work.
Because like everything with when it comes to the mystical realm of things, it has to be intentional. It has to take its time or else it's not going to work. And we know Wyndham put all intentions into everything that he built with the Fiend and all of this in the Funhouse. So it's like, you have to. It's a slow build. It's a slow build, but you have to do it intentionally, literally. And
it don't necessarily all got to be a slow build either, though. I think like if, as long as you know your intent, like you said, your intention has to be there, because that was the thing I kind of wanted for Blair Davenport. Like I thought Blair Davenport should have had some kind of like mystical thing to her.
I feel like Lyra Valkyria could get away with that.
I still say, yo, she should have that alter ego, like where I forgot the god that she mimics herself after. She should have that alter ego.
See, I think that's the best thing about like wrestling too. You can have these alter egos that you snap Demon Finn. Mick Foley
got rid of that. I feel like
Cactus Jack, Dude Love, Mankind.
Because again, and that's the thing too. Like now you kind of know, so it's like definitely go do it. Like you kind of know now. You got to remember, like these people are characters and somewhat like heroes and villains. So it's like, yo, go in on it. Like let Lyra Valkyria come out like a whole bird and got like crazy different type of powers. But again, it's just like it's how you work it, because that was the thing I noticed with a lot of people too. It's like Finn's whole presentation was great, but one thing that made Bray so good is Bray's entire like wrestling style changed when he was the Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
like
that's
some little things of Bray, but it was like, yo, you can tell the difference between these two people. And I knew that when I saw Bray take on the Miz for the Universal title. And it was like, he came out like Funhouse Bray, and it was like, yo, these are two totally different people when he wrestles. And so it's like, that is the kind of like intention that you have when you're coming with this. And I think again, like all of it is there. It's just like, yo, it's just when you decide you want to pull the trigger on it. But right now, like, we're still, it goes back to what we talked about with the women division and how they feeling about booking. We're still lacking multiple stories going on and finishing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just focusing on these main guys who want to talk for 18 minutes and no one brings it up, but The Rock come cook and we all talking about 3 minutes and he just, but okay. Yes. Taking soul.
No. Your champion's Cody Rhodes.
No, same. How about our champion? How about that? Let me say it like he did. Nothing but breath.
Okay.
Our champion.
Mm-hmm. The people's champion.
Well, get yourself together, sir. You know who your champion is.
with adrenaline in your soul.
Oh man.
Yo, I did see one of those. I was just like, I want your soul, but then where will my adrenaline go?
Oh my goodness!
I saw that one.
These are the times where I love the internet.
This is internet. Yeah, this is a great time on the internet.
The internet is interneting now.
Yeah, but man, we'll see. But that's what I want for Alexa Bliss. And I want more layers of stories. Like I need multiple stories, especially if we're jumping into a 3-hour stint for both Raw and SmackDown. It's like, yo, give us more. Give us more of these things.
Well, thinking about like the layout of how the show is now, remember like even Attitude Era, they would have that common thread that weave throughout the whole show. And they've gotten back to that a bit, which is good, but you look at the Attitude Era too, everybody sort of had their own sort of story to go off of too. Like whatever that main one was for the world title, great. You had a main one for the Intercontinental title, great. Even if you didn't have a title, there was a beef somewhere formed, and they would weave it through the night depending on what was hot or what was written well. Mm-hmm. I think with 3 hours, you can do a lot in 3 hours. I mean, minus commercial breaks, minus all that stuff. I think in Triple H, I
got some sick backstage segments.
I feel confident in Hunter's ability to figure this out.
He figured it. But I can even give that. If you're doing 3 hours, you can tell 4 stories for each hour. Mm-hmm. It's like how you just said. Championship, women's championship, mid-card, tag team. Mm-hmm. All of that can be told within in 3 hours. That's still 4.
Plenty of time.
You got 4 that don't include titles that you can give a story to. And then you have 4 more that don't require matches, but you start to brew those up of what's going to be the next thing. I think the mayor over on WWT Live last Friday
said the NXT formula, to use Sean's formula.
Oh, yeah.
Said it much better. It's like, rotate. Rotate. Like, don't get me wrong. I love seeing Penta, but the fact that we're getting another Penta match Monday, like it again, they can take a week off. Get that to somebody else. Like, let me see Ivy Nile wrestle next week.
For sure.
This woman is a beast. Like, give me tag team action. Like, the fact I rarely see my tag team champions, the War Raiders, like, what are we doing?
That's crazy.
It's like, yo, rotate these cats out. I don't need to see CM Punk every week. And that is not me just hating on CM Punk. It's I don't need to see him every single week.
Well, you're about to see him again tomorrow.
But you have like you said with this rotating, even if you don't see them wrestle, you got a backstage segment you can record.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Or have them creeping backstage like you got Shinsuke doing every damn Friday.
Yeah. Or like after like we've or like when a match is happening though, like let them come out and sit during the match, watch their opponent.
Or
Like,
distract.
there's ways to implement them because I even feel like back in the day, like Austin didn't wrestle every Monday.
No, he didn't.
He'd have some wrestle every Monday.
Yep. He'd have it where it come out, do something, interfere, dip, and then that's it.
And
all
then
you had to know was if they were there or not.
Yeah, and come watch the main event or do something like that, and done somebody, we all go home happy. Like that's all you need.
And side note, I got really happy when you said Firefly Funhouse Bray, because I immediately heard the song in my head and saw him coming out with that big smile, and I immediately like I'm just so. It made me. You said, "Yo, that song." Every time I heard it, and Monday would come on, and we knew we were getting a new episode. I'm like Mr. Rogers, like my dark version of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I'm so here for it.
Wow.
Today's word is sociopath.
Like Bray.
Yeah. All right.
Oh man.
R.I.P. Goat.
Man.